بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما.
Okay, so as this is going to be the first session where we'll be introducing the Cisco SD-WAN course. So as per our specific things, what we'll be seeing here is the Cisco SD-WAN course where you will be learning on mastering the Cisco SD-WAN live training. Okay, and again, the other things you can we'll talk about other things as we move on. Okay, so now, probably in this section, we are going to build good foundational skills, which is something required for you to know. Now, the first thing in the first section, we'll start with SDN concept, software defined networking. Now, the software defined networking is going to be the foundational course or the foundation concepts which you have to understand before you actually jump into any of the software defined WAN or software defined LAN or anything it can be. Okay, so that's going to be the first thing what we will be starting with. So the entire course will be focused on the Cisco SD-WAN technologies, and later on we'll try to understand the specific what is Cisco SD-WAN and the options, the controllers, the setup. Again, the course goes on specific Cisco space SD-WAN. Again, there are different vendors offering the SD-WAN solutions. They go on the same way. But mainly here we'll be focusing on the Cisco SD-WAN solutions provided by Cisco. Okay, that's going to be the introduction session, what we are going to see here. And other things, I'll also talk about the resources. Coming back to the resources, now, in terms of resources, as we'll be doing the live sessions on the weekends as per the schedules, whatever given to you. And apart from that, you will also get an access to the pre-recording sessions on the portal. So let me first quickly give an idea on that. So most likely you will get the links, probably an email, which is going to include the access to this particular code. So again, if any one of you has missed out, mostly we have send an email. So please check your emails. In case if someone missed out, you can just reach out on the WhatsApp number. Now this is a portal or this is a link from where you will be able to access the pre-recorded sessions, and mostly the new recordings, whatever being updated, will be updated to the same portal. So this is about myself, and here you will see once you sign up. So if you already have an account, it's good, or else you can just click on sign up or enroll for the course. And once you click on enroll for the course, you will be given some kind of code which you have to apply in order to be able to access that particular. So you need to apply that particular code here. Okay. So as of now, I'm not going to show you, but if you're already accessing some other courses on the same portal, you don't need to create an account, or else you have to create a new account and then sign up for a new account. And this is a place where you will be getting access to the pre-recorded sessions already. The same topics what we are going to cover. Okay, that's the first thing. And this reference videos will be lifetime access normally for you, so that anytime you want to recollect the topic, anytime you want to revise, or while you're doing the labs, if you just wanted to follow the step-by-step instructions, you can follow that. And additionally, you will also be able to get some images. This is again the location from where you can download the different images like IWS routers, which we use in some cases, the VMware, a little bit on that, the GNS3 or EVNG kind of things you can download. And specifically with respect to SD-WAN, this is a link. And again, I'm dropping the same link in the chat right now so that you can even keep this download links. Now, this is where you will be using different images or the different types of devices we'll be using, like vBond, vEdge. We'll talk about this. These are basically the controllers and some licenses and some other other files, whatever is required for majority of the GNS3 labs. So majority of the SD-WAN labs requires some of the images and everything. And I think you will also find a folder where you will have the workbook PDF, which you can download this workbook PDF as well. I think I already have this workbook here for you to show up. And this workbook will have all the topics covered And in the workbook, like if you have already followed my other workbooks, you will have all the topics covering where you have the screenshots of the PPTs, which are used during the class sessions. You can use the same notes for reference. And along with that, it also includes the lab with the screenshots and the commands. Like the initial part, this is all theory part, and you can see the screenshots here where you will also see the different options are required for you to download and do all these options. Okay. So these are the other things what you will be getting. So again, in the same link, you can also find the same thing here. So mostly the other information, and at this level, the prerequisite things. Now there are few prerequisite things before you actually start. Like the resources will include the live sessions along with the recording videos, the workbook, the images which are required. And again, for the labs, I'll try to come back for the labs. What is the prerequisite? That's something we'll also see what exactly required for you to go with the labs here. Okay. Now images, these all something you will get the access. So with the help of these resources, you can always expertise. And due to some reason, anytime you miss the sessions or anytime you want to repeat the same thing, you can always go through with them. Okay, that's the other thing. Now again, the lab prerequisite will come back. Now when it comes to the SD-WAN solution lab solution, especially when you are implementing the Cisco SD-WAN solutions, we will be using a setup of either EVNG or the GNS3. So you can use either of this EVNG or the GNS3 setup to simulate the labs. And typically for the labs to run, the prerequisites are there. So basically the prerequisite for running the labs, you need to have at least 32 GB of RAM, which is something recommended or the minimum RAM required for you to run the labs. So basically that's a requirement because we will be running multiple devices called as controllers. We'll talk about that because here when it comes to the hardware requirements, you can see you need to have at least 32 GB RAM with 100 GB space required. Okay, so that's something you need to have because generally we use some controllers called vManager, vSmart, and the vBond. They typically run a lot of CPU resources. Of course, we can optimize this to half, but again, there will be some WAN edge devices we'll add, which also requires 1 GB RAM to run a single device. So we'll be adding around 5 to 6 WAN edge devices and some iOS devices and all these things. Okay, again, we'll come back on this a little bit more in detail. And the prerequisite at this level, I expect you to already have some idea on the GNS3 or the EVNG tools. And I'm expecting you already have some idea on this. If not, if you're setting up, I don't think you're setting up for the first time. You might have already used these tools, but with respect to SD-WAN solutions, what we are offering here, basically with respect to the SD-WAN solutions, there will be a pre-set up other things you have to do. So no need to worry. Anyway, in the sessions, we'll be seeing the complete setup, how to do and what to do. All these things, something will spend at least, I think, more than one session on only setting up these labs. And we'll do everything from the scratch. So the only prerequisite, I just want you to have some this setup. And if not, I'll share some reference videos which you can also use the same thing. Okay. Now the other thing, let me just quickly say this: the prerequisite at this level, in terms of knowledge prerequisites, like okay, you want to get into the SD-WAN solutions or learn the SD-WAN, and mostly this SD-WAN might be a new concept, especially the SD-WAN, SDN concepts. If you are new to this, no need to worry. We'll be starting from the prerequisite. So at this level, I expect you to have some at least CCNA, CCNP level of knowledge with some level of work experience with something recommended. 1 to 2 years of work experience is something good thing, good prerequisite I can say. But again, mostly if you are a fresher, probably it's not really that much. But because basically, if you are a fresher or if you don't have an experience, mostly you don't really getting to learn, because your focus will be more on getting a network engineer role. And mostly the people who has been working for more than 2 years, 2 to 5 years, working as a level 2 or level 3 engineers, then basically this is going to be an add-on skill set. Okay. So again, this is not going to be a core skill set. It can be a core skill set as you move on. But initially, at this point of time, if you are doing the learning process, then basically I can say you will be learning SD-WAN as an add-on skill set. Or even if you are trying to prepare for CCI enterprise exams, then the SD-WAN solutions comes as a part of the CCNP enterprise exams. So in the CCNP enterprise exams, this is going to be the one of the paper. Again, we'll talk about this in the certifications part, where the SD-WAN will be one of the a paper which you have to clear if you want to get through with the CCNP exams. So we'll come back to that, the knowledge prerequisites and the lab prerequisites as we discussed. And in terms of certifications as well, the CCNP or the CCI enterprise exams. So if you are preparing for CCNP exams or the CCI exams, then we have this specific one module. So if we just go with let me just go with the Cisco CCNP enterprise SD-WAN. If we just quickly go to the Cisco website, you can go to the certifications option where you'll find there is a specific exam 300-415, which is focused on implementing the Cisco SD-WAN solutions. And if you are passing this exam, you will be getting an enterprise specialist certificate. So basically, it's the same 90-minute exam, similar to a CCNA or any other exams. Of course, you can find the exam topics what will be covered, and the pricing will be around $300. Basically, that's the pricing, and then as a part of the CCNP enterprise, you can go with this exam. Now, a quick overview of the CCNP enterprise exam. So if you go back to the training and certifications, like here, if you, I'm just trying to show you from the website so that it will be easy for you in the future if you, anytime you want to see any updates. So there will be an option where you can go to the explore certifications. I think from there, I can explore the CCNP enterprise certificate. So here there is a specific enterprise module. So in the enterprise module, again, you have the CCNA, which also comes as a part of the entry level exam. But if you want to get into CCNP or the CCI exams, CCNP enterprise or the CCI enterprise, this learning the Cisco SD-WAN technologies is going to be important. Again, here specifically, we go with the CCNP exams. Now, as you already know, if not, let me just quickly give an idea of the CCNP exam. So anytime you are preparing for CCNP exams, any CCNP exams, whether it is an enterprise or security or anything, so the exams has been categorized into two types. The first exam is the core exam, and there are other exams which is called as concentration exams. So the SD-WAN comes under the concentration exam. Concentration is more like a specialization. The core exam is more like the overall concepts covered here. But if you want to deep dive into individual papers or the individual technologies, you will be getting into this exam. So like if you see here on the Cisco website, if you quickly go through with this resources, I'll come back to the questions a little bit. Let me just quickly finish up with this. And if you want to earn your CCNP enterprise certification, you have to pass one core exam. So the core exam in terms of CCNP enterprise is this. So which means you must pass one core exam and any one concentration exam. Now coming back to the concentration exams, there are many concentration exams. Enterprise advanced routing or SD-WAN or designing exams or implementing the wireless. So you can select any of these exams basically to pass. Now, to get the CCNP certification, you need to pass one core exam and one concentration exam. So concentration exam, you can choose any one, whichever the paper you want to specialize. Like in this case, let's say SD-WAN or advanced routing or wireless or designing, anything, or automation. Now, when you do this, you will get three certificates, three different certificates. One is for the core specialist, one is for the concentration specialist, like SD-WAN specialist. In our case, if you are passing this SD-WAN exam, and there will be a CCNP certified certified professional. And again, if you are, let's say, if your plan is to go for CCI Enterprise, or if you are part of the CCI Enterprise program, then basically you have to pass only the core exam, which is a prerequisite exam, which is costing somewhere around 400 USD. And this is like 300 USD, the examination cost. And you have to direct appear for the lab exam. And of course, the core exam, again, $400. The lab exam cost around 1600 USD. That's something, a different thing. So basically, if you are going for any of the CCNP or the CCI certifications, this is going to be the roadmap. So this can vary based on the individuals. And the good thing is there is no prerequisite exams you need to write. So which means even if you are not CCNA certified, or if your CCNA is expired, you can directly write any exam without any prerequisites, whether it is a core or whether it is a concentration. But again, of course, you cannot write the lab exam without the core, because once you pass the core, then you are eligible to book the lab exam. That is a different case. Okay. So this is something revised by Cisco very long back, 4 or 5 years almost done. But still, as per today, this is the same latest information about the certifications. There is one more point I'd like to add, the renewal part, the validity. Now, the validity of all your Cisco certifications is 3 years. So for every 3 years, you have to make sure that you write any other Cisco exam within these 3 years to extend your certifications. You can always go to the Cisco website and you can check the validity and the status of your certifications.